Life. I'm Michelle, and it's time for another spiritual deep dive. And I just love to read some of Harold Klemp's works and to, have people contribute with questions or thoughts. You can type below if you'd like. And then, of course, my own personal interpretation. So today I'm going to start out a little different. I usually do an exercise, a spiritual exercise first from the spiritual exercises of Eck. But instead, I'm going to flip through this awesome daily quote book and read one and see what we get. So first, I'm just going to sing a quick cue if you guys want to join me. It is a wonderful way to align with the higher vibrations, really that being love. So I'm going to sing a quick cue. I'm going to do 5 hues if you want to join me, because that's symbolic of reaching the higher worlds, the higher heavens, okay, vibrating with the higher worlds of love. So I'm going to do 5. That's the 5th dimension. May the blessings be. Okay. Hope that made you guys feel as good as it made me feel. Oh, hello. Hi from Murano. Ooh, Murano. I've been to Murano, Italy. Yeah, you got to be very careful when you walk through the factories in Murano. Why? Because the things that they leave out are on the edge, and if you knock them off, you're going to owe a lot of money. Okay. So welcome, Murano, Italy. Love you, Italy. Mwah. Okay. So I just am opening up to the first daily quote that I open up to, and I'm going to read it. I always do a daily quote in the mornings, America time. And so you can look at those, the uplifting quotes of the day. But this is another quote of the day, and it says, "The first point to mastering your spiritual destiny is to forget the past, let it go, and learn the spiritual lessons today." Harold Klemp. Yes, whatever you have gone through in the past, if you can get a lesson out of it, grab the lesson and let it go. Let it go. You know that song, Let It Go? Just let it go. Bye-bye. Okay? And you can move forward with the lesson, but not the drama from the past. Okay? Well, that was the first thing we're doing. So next we've got, the spiritual exercises of Eck, Harold Klemp again. And welcome, David Black. I am having a beautiful week. Thank you very much. I hope you are too. Oh, what? Seriously, dudes, don't pretend you're Jeffrey Epstein inviting me to your island. I would never go. Ew. Okay. Haha. Funny. It's not April Fool's though. Anyway, the 23rd spiritual exercises of Eck, okay, is called the Mountain of Light. The Mountain of Light. Now, if you have not done any of these spiritual exercises, I promise you, if you give them a try, you will feel so different, okay? In a good way, because the only thing that we can work on in a life is our spiritual selves. We cannot take anything else with us. The money, the body, the cars, anything that we purchase, okay? We take our character. We take what we've done, and hopefully it's good stuff. Welcome everybody else. Boy, you guys, I'm so happy there's so many people here today. Welcome. So we are doing a spiritual deep dive. I just read a quote. We are now going to hear a dream exercise, and here it is. The dream exercise is the Mountain of Light. Try this if you feel you are in need of spiritual protection. Shut your eyes at bedtime and see yourself standing before a gigantic mountain of light. From the mountain flows the most enchanting melody of the audible life stream. Now visualize yourself walking up the sidewalk to the huge door that guards the entrance into the side of the mountain. The door's mighty construction can withstand a thermonuclear blast. Go in, pull the door shut behind you. Notice how easily it swings despite its great height and massive construction. With the door shut, you safely inside the shelter, you lock the door securely. Again, this is for spiritual protection. Snap the padlock, set the deadbolt, and drop the bar into place. Then turn around and walk directly into the worlds of light and sound behind you. Go to the light and sound, okay, to the love. In extreme cases, it is perfectly all right to create several outer chambers inside the entrance. This is all your imagination, but it works. Each chamber is likewise protected by an enormous door. All are secured against the night. Be aware of one thing to be aware of. The door of protection is made from the Ek itself. Nothing can get through it. Nothing. I can help you, but only if you listen. Nothing can hurt you spiritually unless you yourself allow it. That is nice to know, that we are more empowered than we might feel or think that we are. Another wonderful spiritual exercise of protection is to envision mirrors reversed around you. A circle of mirrors can even be a globe of mirrors around your body and light within you. Now, the other day, we talked about the different colors, and if you want a spiritual healing, orange is the color to flood your body with. If you want a healing of your astral, causal, mental, or etheric bodies, you would use the color blue, okay? All right, so that was really interesting. The Mountain of God is a great spiritual exercise to do, especially if you feel you need protection. So let's see. Hello, Chen, Frank, Avion. I like that. Jeffrey Epstein, I don't think that's you. Davis, hello, Maurizio. L'Italiano. Okay, so let's get on to the spiritual laws of life. Okay, so we have been going through this book really well, actually, and now we are up to the law of Dharma. This again is Harold Klemp, if you can see this wonderful book, Harold Klemp, The Spiritual Laws of Life. The law of Dharma, or the law of life, the righteousness of life, righteousness, doing what is right, the code of conduct that sustains soul, doing what is right. Why? Well, guess what, guys? It's not because you don't get away with anything, though that's a fact, okay? Everything you think, everything you say, everything you do comes back to you. You have to pay it back eventually. But it actually feels good to do things when you're doing them the right way and not in the bad way. One takes for granted before he starts on the path of Ek, okay, light and sound, that he is to become well grounded in the fundamentals of righteousness. He must practice the Dharma, the law of life itself, in all aspects of his life. This means doing what one ought to do while an Ek student. Hi, Brian. An Ek Chila, okay? Without doing this, he cannot make a start in life, okay? You have to know that you want to do what's right. If you still want to be misbehaving and stuff, okay, but there will be consequences, always, 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 always. Karma, of course, here we go, the consequences, cause and effect, karma, is bound up with reincarnation. Guess what? If you get away with it in this life, I hate to be the harbinger of bad news, but you won't get away with it in the next. It just is how it works. So you might do stuff in this lifetime, okay? You might indulge the 5 passions, which is anger, lust, greed, vanity, and attachment. You might. We all do in some ways, right? But you eventually have to pay it back. So might as well start trying not to be angry, lustful, greedy, vain, and hyper attached to things, okay? It helps not to be. So let's see. Karma, of course, is bound up with reincarnation, but it's separated into 2 parts. two parts: cause and righteousness, which are the basic factors that create karma. Cause and righteousness. It is the disobedience of the law of dharma or righteousness, which is rightness or righteousness, the law of life or what ought to be done, that brings about karma for the individual or group. All right. It should always be borne in mind that ignoble thoughts and actions inevitably result in unhappy consequences. Ignoble thoughts and actions. So you can think stuff that's not good, okay? You can think negative stuff about that happened to other people, like if you have bad thoughts about other people, that's not great, okay? But it's worse when you actually pair that with taking a negative action against someone. That makes it worse. It's still karma that you have to pay. So watching your thoughts, being so completely present, you're a master of yourself. When you have presence and you're in the present moment, the most powerful moment is now, then you have mastery of yourself. Self-mastery means that you know what you're thinking. It's not just this like, oh, I'm thinking this and then I'm thinking that, and like, you're like, you are more than an animal, okay? You can have control. And how? How? By meditating, breathing in, you feel your breath go in, breathing out, you feel your breath go out. Doing this over and over, being aware of your surroundings, looking around your room, the book, what does it look like? What does the cover look like? Noticing things. And then it even enhances your dream states, because if you're aware in the physical reality, when you leave your body every night when you sleep, you will be more aware of where you go. Now we're going to talk about the negative power. The Kal-Niranjan, also known as Satan or devil or whatever you want to say. Okay, they have a job here. It's a job, actually, to try to keep us stuck here. Okay, the negative power or Satan is merely an instructor. What? Who is in charge of God's earthly schoolroom. Whoa, that's crazy, right? Think about it. Oh, people want to just vilify, but the bottom line is that entity is actually an instructor to get us to behave better. Not saying I'm, I don't know. I'm just going to stop right there and read. Okay. The negative power of Satan is merely an instructor who is in charge of God's earthly schoolroom, the place where soul gains purification. So, thanks for the hearts. Mwah. So that it may one day re-enter the heavenly states of consciousness and become a co-worker with God. What is the goal? Co-workership with God, angelship, Eckmastership. Would you rather be an Eckmaster or an angel? A co-worker with all that is? Infinite love and power and everything, okay? Goodness. Or would you rather be working for the Cal, which is fine, okay? We all have our roles and we all grow to the next level and then to the next level, and we outgrow roles. We evolve, okay? It's so fascinating. You and I, soul, were created in the heart of God, and put in the lower worlds. Why? Because we simply would not serve others. We fell. So again, this is my favorite part. I love explaining this. And thank you for your likes and subscriptions. And hello to Peter and now Natasha and Brian. So nice to have so many people here today. So the upper worlds are the 5th dimension and above. That is where pure love is. No dichotomy. No dichotomy. In fact, I've been there before. You don't even have a body. It depends on where you go, okay? You know everything. You're like, feel love, 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 so much love, okay? But when you fall through, which we all have because we're in physical form, you go down to the physical. Physical being the 1st dimension. Then astral is the seat of emotions, 2nd dimension. 3rd dimension is the causal plane. Akashic records, past life records are stored there, okay? 4th dimension and part of 4th is the mental mind world and etheric subconscious mind. And then we get to the 5th love and above. Okay. So we were created in the heart of God above the 5th dimension. We are put in the lower worlds, 1st through 4th, because we simply would not serve others. So we had to learn what it is to be a co-worker with all that is love by having hard lessons here first. We were self-serving, enjoying our life on the soul plane and other worlds. and we would not give anything in any way. We were selfish. Okay, so we came into the lower worlds. Many of you write and ask, this is to Harold Klemp, the former current living Act Master, what is my mission in life? What is my mission? Very specifically, it is to become a co-worker with Source, Love, God, all that is. A co-worker, like an angel or Act Master. How this breaks down for your particular talents is actually between God and you. Everyone has something different that they're so excited to do, right? I like sharing this information. Look at me. I'm super freaking geeked. I feel like I'm just a geek, actually. Honestly, I don't care. I am. I'm a geek about this stuff. It just super excites me. So this is what I'm doing, right? What are you excited to do? Do you love animals? Okay, you can take care of animals. Like I feed my outdoor animals. Yeah, okay, you can do that if you like animals. That's being a coworker. It doesn't have to be something like sharing a YouTube channel or whatever. It can be something so small. Like what is it that you like to do that would serve other people that you're passionate about? Okay, what are you passionate about? As long as it's not harming anyone else. I always put that addendum in for the person who just thinks like, oh, no, it can't harm anyone else. You violate spiritual law that way and you create such bad karma for yourself. It's scary. Oh, your next lifetimes are going to suck. I mean, no offense. But yeah, so what can you do that is not going to hurt anyone else that's going to be useful? Do it. That's it. Like, honestly, if you're just a love ball of a person, you can walk through a store and smile at people. And guess what? Maybe you smiled at someone who was having like the worst day and was like ready to go end it, right? And maybe you just like made them double think it. You just don't know what your smile could do for someone, okay? Another point is to live the karma-less life. How? To act without creating further karma is to do everything. Oh, this is a big one. In the name of love, or in the name of that inner master within you. In the name of love. Okay, it says God here, but I write or say the word love because God is love. Really, it just do it in the name of love. Don't do things without love. Like SpongeBob when he cooks in his cartoon show, he cooks with love. That's why everyone loves SpongeBob's food. Okay, I know it's a cartoon, duh, I get that, but it's an example, okay? This is a simple way to go through life. Do things in the name of love. You know, there is a Buddhist little story or something about like it would be better to sit on the temple steps and beg for money with love, thank you for the hearts, than it would be to, work a job you hate and be miserable every day and like just be miserable. It's better to be in a high vibe and do something like sitting and like collecting alms on the temple steps. We are interested in learning how to live life fully, not how to contemplate and withdraw. Okay, I get that. We all go through times where we just kind of want to contemplate and like sit in the middle of a forest and do nothing, right? Or maybe that's just me, but anyway, we don't need to retreat from life, okay? We have to actually like live it fully too around other people or, you know, animals are sometimes better, but people, okay? Yeah. So the former Living Act Master, Sri Harold, once wrote that it's better to be engaged in life and make mistakes and deal with those consequences. Why? Than be in a, retreat somewhere alone because you learn, okay? Because you grow. You can't really grow if you're sitting, cracking a coconut open alone. I mean, sort of. Okay. By living fully, we get the experience we need to one day become a coworker with God or love. You need every conceivable experience. Oh boy, that sounds not so great, right? Every conceivable experience, no thanks. But, we are born once a woman, once a man, once gorgeous, once really homely, once really wealthy, once really poor. We are born in different time periods where people were horrible to us and enslaved us. And in other lifetimes, we might have enslaved others. You see, the power shifts. So we've been through eternity as a soul snowflake of all that is, like a very distinct one, getting our own individual experiences. Okay, so eternity, you guys get that? Like, if you remember any past lives at all, you'll know. Sometimes you weren't even human. I mean, I know I can say that. I have past lives not human. Okay, I could just say that here. I don't even care anymore. I know aliens are real. Okay, people might not believe it. I doesn't matter. I know what I know. So you could be anything. You could have been anything. How do you get out of the wheel of karma in the 84? Well, let's read that because this is what he's saying. Basically, you want to stay without you got to stay with the no anger, lust, greed, vanity, attachment's a good start. Start cultivating forgiveness, contentment, non-attachment. Okay, these are a few things, but let's see what he says about that's a great question. We don't want to create new karma, right? And honestly, for me at least, becoming an Eckist, because I was in 5 different religions before that in this lifetime, just looking for what I needed to know. And what I learned was when I became an Eckist, which is a spiritual path, I signed up. I really feel like, and I know wholeheartedly because of my experiences, that my karma has been mitigated for me, taken from me and given back in small doses that I could pay back easier so that I am getting off of that wheel. Like, and I can feel it. It's an incredible experience. So you can always look at eckankar.org. It's ECKANKAR.org. And if you sign up, then you will receive the help from the masters. And when I tell you, they're real. You just have to experience it yourself. That's all I'm going to say. It's an incredible path. If you ask for help, you have to ask though. You have to ask. You can't just assume that angels or Eck masters are going to show up in your house without your request, okay? You have to ask, and then they will. Mwah. Kisses, hugs. I love that. Hearts, thank you. They're so cute. Okay. So it's better to go out instead of, like sitting in a forest or on a mountain somewhere and do something that you would later find was wrong than to do nothing. Okay. At least you learned something, even if it's only that you would never do it again and you're smarter than you were before, wiser. Okay. There is no easy way to explain the teachings of Eck and the truth contained therein. That understanding has to be an individual undertaking. Yes, you will learn as you go on this path. You get a discourse, if you do this, you get a discourse that's got 12 months and you read 1 month at a time only and you unfold spiritually in that way. Okay. The most we can do for our family is to ask for their goodwill in letting us study the path of our choice. Maybe you come from a very strong, let's say, Catholic background, okay? And they're like, you are studying spirituality? What? Meanwhile, they're spiritual beings too. It's kind of funny, but you can just ask for goodwill. And, you're an autonomous human being, do what feels good to you, as long as you're not hurting anyone. And studying something that you want to study doesn't mean you're hurting someone else. If that's what they perceive of, that's on them. That's not you. If you have to be yourself in this lifetime, in every lifetime. And trust me, I've broken the mold. Oh God, my family thought I was nuts. Like I've had 5 different religions before I finally became an Eckist, and now they really can't say a thing because they can see how I've changed over the decades. And not that I was like horrible or anything like that, but like I'm a much more self-responsible, happier, more positive person than I was prior to my different choices that were very alternative to their brains, which is okay, be yourself, period. Be yourself. Don't apologize to anyone. It doesn't matter. It's not like you're trying to upset people by being yourself. If you're weird, you're weird. If you're different, you're different. Okay? Maybe in 300 years, like you won't be weird. It'll be the norm. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're a path paver or something. I think that's the word. Okay. So give your family the same freedom and just enjoy each other as people and as loved ones. Sometimes we're able to work it out with people, sometimes not. Sometimes people are like, I don't like your path, so goodbye, and that's okay. I really don't like the teachings of Eck to come between members of a family. And I certainly don't recommend anyone take the Eck discourses on the sly, such as through an anonymous post office box. You have to own your decisions on this planet. if you're choosing to do something, you have to hide it. Like people who are gay, that's, I mean, unless they're going to hurt you, because there are crazy people out there who hurt people who are gay because they just don't agree with it or understand it. Meanwhile, if you actually look at it, it's like you've been a man and a woman in so many lifetimes. No wonder there's so many gay people because there's like one lifetime they're driving a Corvette, the next that's a Porsche. Okay. It's just a shape. Okay. And it's also an energy, but nonetheless, don't let the haters hate you. Whatever alternate thing you are or do, you just be you, you know? But it's better not to hide who you are if possible. You have to make sure you're safe, obviously. We don't look to ethics as our goal. We look to God realization. But as we gain in spiritual unfoldment, our ethics do become greater, more so than on any other path. So, yeah, it's important to be ethical and true to yourself simultaneously when safely possible. All I'm concerned about is that the outer life stays in harmony and balance, and that you don't go out there and do strange things all of a sudden. Give up your job, take all your savings out of the bank, and go off to an ashram. That is not the spiritual life. The spiritual life is carrying out the duties that we have accepted, such as family and children, and figuring out ways to support them. This is where the challenge of life is today. A person who wishes to move from the ego to the higher self and understanding does so through right action. We call it Dharma. Whew, that was a lot of reading, but I just love it. Okay, I hope you guys do too. Are there any questions? I see there was how to get out of the wheel. Well, I hope that answers some of it. I've got also like over 1,000 videos on this channel that you can check out that actually answer that more thoroughly. Okay. Does anyone have a page number? Because we're on to one of my favorite things, which is the Eckopedia. And this is the Eckankar lexicon. So it's a dictionary, and it is a dictionary of different terms that are really of interest. Okay, I just saw the number 67. Okay, I'm going to page 67. Anyone else see a number they want me to read from? Anybody? Okay, so, 67 is Ek initiate. So this explains, it's so perfect if you want to become involved in Eckankar and like learn through Eckankar. Again, you can be in a religion. It's a spiritual individual path. It's not cookie cutter. It's very much about mitigating your own karma and becoming a coworker with love. And so it's very personal, but there are discourses that are sent to you. So an Eckinitiate is a Chela or student who has reached at least the first initiation in Eckankar. So they've basically gone on to eckankar.org and said, yes, I'm interested in this path. And so then they get a book sent to them, and that makes them like, basically you're saying, I would like some guidance in the inner realms. Okay, so you're opening yourself to that, and then you have the outer works to study. The Ek works through him and becomes a part of everything he touches, entering into the environment and those within his sphere of influence. It makes changes for the better because this is the hand of God at work. Using the initiate as its instrument, each Ek initiate is a potential light to the world. So you go up and up and up through different initiations, and it doesn't really ever end because the current living Ek masters could be an 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th initiate, and there's still another plane of existence to traverse, to explore, to learn in, because we're forever evolving eternally. Eternally. That's forever. Okay. So, anyone have a different page number? I'm going to read about the Ek Masters too. The adepts of the Vairagi, God-realized souls and co-workers with God, also known as the Busharkon or eagle-eyed adepts. Eagle-eyed being that they have the mountains view, the higher view, They are from all corners of the globe and eras in history. They can be male or female. They serve under the direction of the Mahanta, the living Ek master, and work directly with students of the spiritual leader of Eckankar. Ek masters are true agents of God and have the power to arouse an intense love for God and others. And they are so full of love. I have personally met a couple. Whoa. It was like for a week or so, I just had so much love bursting out of me. I was like, really, it was an incredible chance encounter with a homeless man who actually was an Ek master in New York City. And also you can meet them in the inner, and then it's really an incredible thing. And that's what we're working to become. It's not like you worship them or anything. They're there to teach and help and guide, and then help you to become an Ek master too. They're a self-fulfilling law of love, here to help every soul gain what? Spiritual freedom in this lifetime. Spiritual freedom is the goal. Spiritual freedom. Okay. Any numbers below? All right, I'm going to read Presence of the Master. The inner master is like the air you breathe. He is everywhere. As the Ek, he is with all his chelas at the same time, students. It makes little difference whether the person has read only one book from Eckankar, or has just become an Ek initiate, or has passed through all initiations currently available in this living body. The Mahanta, the living Ek master, is with that individual constantly. So it's your inner guide system, really. You have that. Everyone has that. Whether or not you can see the inner form of the master, you can hold an inner conversation with him. You could picture him like Yoda if you're not an Ekist. It's like, what would that wise part of you say to you? Trust that the master is speaking to you from the inner world. The presence of the master is called the Kundun, and practicing it is part of total reliance on the inner master. Another way to practice the presence is to do all deeds in the name of that inner guidance, of that Mahanta, the living Ek master, and let each task hold all your love. So again, it's about being in that vibration of love. Practicing the presence of the master is the spiritual technique of putting your attention on the Mahanta and knowing he is with you. Okay. And finally, I will end this with present moment. Be aware of the value of the present moment. Presence. When I was a Buddhist and a Taoist, and also when I was like reading all this Eckhart Tolle, which, by the way, is he an Ekist? Eckhart? That wasn't his original name. But anyway, he talks about the power of now, right? Presence, being here now. At the heart of the Ek life lies the conviction that the Ek is the way as well as the goal. Therefore, whether the way is long or short, and whatever blind corners it has, every moment is as important as the goal. Be here now, consciously, and listening, not just to others, but to that inner voice inside. I see a long thing written. Let's see. How to be in constant connection with the Ek and be in the higher level state at the same time having to deal with other souls who are dwelling in the lower. Oh, that's a really good question. How, Josu? I hope I'm saying that right. Isn't that the question? It's what I struggle with too. Okay, so if you're around someone, let's see, let me ask for some guidance here. Give me a second. So how do you be around people? Well, okay, that didn't take long. I limit contact with people who are in a very low vibration. When I'm there with them, I'm singing Hue inside of my body, not out loud, obviously. You don't just stand there and be like, Hue, right? So I'm basically being present with people who are vibrating in a lower way, and I'm not spending a lot of time with them. But I'm also, if I have to, for instance, I'm deciding to consciously keep my vibration in a state of love. In a state of love. Okay? So whatever they're saying, doing, acting like, I'm still centered in that state of love. Thank you for the hearts. I'm still centered in that state of love. And If they want to behave however, if they cross a line, I politely excuse myself. But I stay as long as I feel guided to. I'm listening with love, but I'm constantly chanting the hue inside. And I'm constantly also reminding myself that they're like in first grade spiritually and they're acting like first graders. It's not personal to me. So I don't take it on. So I keep my vibration positive. I hope that answers that. All right. So is only because to live in the Mahanta that to die is to gain. Okay, in practical terms, this means that every moment is known to be of infinite value. I honestly, there is no other moment but the now, right? Like we're just being here now. If we think about the past injustices or problems, we're not being present. If we're worried about the future, we're not being present. So, being here now brings all the juice of all the potential positive timelines because you're not focused in the past or future. You're here so you can hear what is being shown to you, said to you, what you're being guided to do next in the highest timeline. There's an infinite amount of timelines that we can take right now. An infinite. But if we really want to take the best ones, then we have to be in the best state, meaning we are in that love vibe. It doesn't mean we're effusively pouring out love all the time. I get really excited doing these videos, so I'm super geeky, as I said before, and that's okay, and hyped and just excited about it because I love this learning. But in my everyday moments, I'm very quiet, actually. Hard to believe, I know. And calmer, very, very centered and present. Okay? Being present and listening, listening. What is it that you want me to know now? Chanting the word hue, and then sometimes not even asking, just ideas will come. I'm sure you all can attest to that too, that when you're present, that isn't that when you get the ideas? Like, how do you keep your vibes high? Anyone want to comment down there? How do you keep your vibe high? I would love to learn from you too. How do you keep your vibe high? I chant hue. I stay present. I don't personalize what other people say. I don't spend a lot of time around people who are behaving poorly at all, really. Your dog, yes. Thank you, John. That is an excellent way. Animals, connecting with animals. I have two birds that fly freely. They land on my shoulder and they help me too. Yes, animals, they're so, and dogs especially, are unconditionally loving. So, yes, John, like that's a great idea, you guys. What he just said, connect with your animals, okay? Because they will keep your love vibe high. What else? Yes, you're thinking, thank you. You're thinking of the living Eck master. Yes, he will definitely keep your vibe in that positive love vibe because he is love. Love it. Oh my gosh, this is great. You guys, please keep commenting. We need all the ideas we can get because we are living in, you know, not the golden age on this planet right now. It's true. If you study like the Ekvidya book, ugh. So, yeah, we're not in the golden age. What is an Eck master? Excellent question. So, an Eck master, Eck being basically like you've probably heard of like Holy Spirit or divine love, right? So, the best comparison would be a person or being who has worked on themselves through many lifetimes and has kind of reached this almost like you could say an angel state, but they're not to be worshipped, and many of them are alive. They're living now, okay? And they are here to serve. And I said earlier, I had met an Eck master when I was in New York City walking down the street, and someone was really horrible to me. And I was talking in my head to God, and I was like, I'm never giving money to a homeless person again. Like, I meant it. Like, I don't say things I don't mean. And the guy had thrown it in my face, and it was my studying snack money. I was just over it, okay? And I kept walking and I was so upset. And 10 blocks later, a man walked across the street and he was an Eck master. I learned later, 30 years later, who he was. He was an Eck master and he basically had this vibration that was so loving that all my anger and upset at being pelted in the face with my own money went away. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, I take it back, God. I will still give money to homeless people. I'm not gonna let this one person who was so bad to me upset me anymore. And I carried that vibration from this Eck master or angel for like a long time with me. Okay, I hope that answers that, John. Miriam, hello. When you clean a vacuum cleaner, aren't you the vacuum cleaner? Well, I don't really understand what that means. Thank you for the hearts. Um, so, present and future. Okay, so in practical terms, we're back to the present moment. This means that every moment is known to be of infinite value, not because of what precedes or follows it, but because it is the moment of communication with God. How do you guys hear communication from Source, Love, God, all that is, angels, Eckmasters, anyone you speak to? Can someone comment below? How do you know the difference between your ego and God? Happy birthday, Lisa, wherever you are. Happy birth Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Someone's asking me to say happy birthday. Happy birthday to Lisa. Happy birthday to you, hearts. Okay, do you think an Eckmaster can just access all his ancestors' DNA so the memories? Oh, you know what? That's a really interesting theory that I pursued for a long time too. I was very curious about that. Like, is our DNA connected to our past lives? There's potential, but all I can speak of is my own cookie cutter reality. And, as a spark of love or God, because we all are, this is what I know. So for me, I have had remembrances of past lives since I was a little girl, very specific things with very specific names, which I've confirmed are real. So for me, growing up in a family that didn't believe any of this, I kind of had to keep it on the down low for a long time, to be honest about it. And, now I understand it because once you're able to traverse the different dimensions more lucidly, so when you go to sleep, you go to the astral, causal, mental, etheric. Well, the causal is where the past life Akashic records are stored. And if you request to go there and you make it there, you can start seeing all of your past lives. So all of my past lives are not necessarily in the DNA of this body. So I did learn that later. Some of it maybe, but it's really not. I don't think so. Though I did think that for a while because I was trying to explain it to myself, and like other people like have other things they try to explain. You go through all this rigmarole trying to figure it out. But that's all I can answer to. So again, does anyone have any way they can share about how they know when they're getting intuition from love or directions from love or God, source? You can call it anything you want. If you talk to Jesus, call it Jesus. He's still, he was an Ek Chila too. I don't want to offend anyone if you don't believe that, but honestly, there's a long list of 974 of them. So, everyone has had different experiences, but how do you get the information that you get and how do you know it's from God? How do you know? Anybody? Anyone want to be brave? I'm on a live, guys. You can be brave too. um, I personally get that. And thank you for contributing. I'm just teasing you. I really do appreciate it. I like the back and forth. I just started doing these lives lately and I hadn't before. And I just think it's so great because we're learning together. So for me, I know when I'm quiet, okay, not now, sometime, but when I'm really quiet and I ask and I listen, then I know. Okay, that's how it comes to me. You don't really do it's just faith. Ah, it's just faith. I see what you're saying. Okay, so your answer to the questions, how do you know if it's God? You don't really do know, it's just faith. Okay, that's interesting. When I was a Christian, because I was a Christian for a while too, I practiced that for a while and I learned a lot. It was awesome path for like 5 years or so. Um, when it's the insight, it's out of love and it's of service. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. I think that when it's too, for me too, faith, yes. And then insight and when it's in a love vibe. And for me, when it's, okay, this is weird, but sometimes for me, it's very clear if I sometimes it's something I don't wanna do. It's something I just my ego me doesn't wanna do it. Like, "I'm not in the mood to do that, God. Really? I have to do this now? Okay." So, I'm like for me, it's like, okay. For instance, there was one time when I was driving down the street and I felt God kept saying, "You have to stop and talk to this man." What? He was in a wheelchair on the side of the road, and my heart was sad for him. Okay. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Just pull my car over and be like, how's it going today? You know, I'm like your drive-by stalker. Like it was just weird, right? So I'm like, okay, God. So the next time I was driving that area, I'm like, okay, God, I know that I didn't listen last time or the time before, but honestly, if he's there this time and it was raining, so I'm like, oh, I probably hedged my bets. I'm not going to have to stop him. But when I promise something, I do it. So I'm like, oh, you got to be flipping kidding me. The rain stopped by the time I got to that area and he was there. So I went out and I talked to this man for 45 minutes. And I guess it was some kind of, I know it was a blessing, not only for him, but there was something I needed to learn that I didn't expect I needed to learn. So I know that sometimes God is telling me to be a coworker, even when I don't want to do it, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it does relate to love, charity, and faith because for me, um, yeah, you just have to kind of push through. Thank you for the hearts. Heart, heart. Does anyone have a page number? Hello. Hi, Polly. Let's see. Page number. Ooh, anyone? I can read about anything. This is a dictionary of things that happened for like millions of years. I mean, even Atlantis. Okay. Any of you here remember a life in Atlantis? Anybody else? Atlanteans? Are there any Atlanteans in the house? Are there any Lemurians in the house? Mu? That would be still the Hawaiian Islands. John has page 18. Thank you, John. Number 18. Okay, let's see. Ooh, the astral body. Okay. So many people will say, talk about astral. Oh, I'm from Atlantis too. I died though leaving. It was horrible, but whatever. Okay. I'll talk to you about that after, but I just want to say something about the astral body. People say, oh, you can astral project, you leave your body. Okay, yeah, okay. There's astral projection, but there's also soul travel, which doesn't limit you to just um, my pleasure, thank you. It doesn't limit you to just the astral, okay, because you're physical, yeah, hold on. Physical, astral, causal, mental, etheric, and then the love and above. Okay. So the astral projection leaving your body just limits you to the astral realm. Just saying, when you want to travel higher, okay, so that's called soul travel. Soul travel is when you can go lots of places to the higher realms, okay? But I'm going to read about astral body, your astral body, because that's what you asked for, John, with page 18. I'm so sorry. I need a little drink of something. Isn't that cute, you guys? I love birds so much. And you're going to freak out. Do you know what I actually put in my Americano? Not joking. Extra virgin olive oil. Black with extra virgin olive oil. It's supposed to be healthy. Ugh. Okay. Here we go. There is not a booger on my nose. Don't be rude one day at a time. It's just rude. Is there? Okay. One of the bodies of soul, the others are the physical body, causal body, mental body, and etheric body. The astral body is a protective sheath soul uses for experience and expression on the astral plane. It is lighter and finer than the physical body. Lighter and finer. Also known as the emotional body because it's in the second realm. Okay. The light body, light form, subtle body, and Nuri Sarup. You guys, when you go to sleep, you leave your body, okay? Nothing to be afraid of. Everyone does. You go to different places. You go through a funnel, tunnel-like thing, and you end up going to different places. If you want to go higher than the astral, there's a formula technique you can do. You can do 5 hues to maybe get to the 5th soul love and above. You can do 4 if you just want to go to the mental plane or etheric, okay? You can go all over the place. All right. Now we were talking, someone was just saying someone was, man from Atlantis, Polly's from Atlantis too. Do you remember anything about Atlantis you want to share with us? Because Atlantis was hard. Atlantis was very technologically savvy. They had a ton of crystals from my complete remembrance of certain snippets that I recall. And I was there as it went down, which is probably why I remember, because it was very traumatic. It was a dream that I had recurring throughout my life. And as it was going down, I was waiting for someone. I didn't know what was happening. Things were shaking. It was a mess. I was in a very large ceilinged room with crystals and things. And then I had to find, no one came that I was waiting for. Whoever that was, I don't remember. But then I needed to get out because it started shaking more. Things started to fall. So I found this thing that you basically fly on. So I put a crystal in it. I don't know how much charge the crystal had, because in Atlantis, it was yeah, I guess it's one of the ways, that my life ended back then. So yeah, it was kind of a horrific thing. So as the crystal went in, I flew through debris, and then I got out over the ocean. I didn't know which way I was going, and I chose the wrong way in all the chaos. I couldn't tell if I was going towards land like Egypt or if I was going towards more Atlantic Ocean. And clearly I ended up in the ocean, went down. And I would wake up in horror remembering Atlantis. Yeah, a lot of people have a fear of drowning or water because of things like that they've experienced. And that's completely natural, because if you've been around eternally, you've had a lot of things happen, just saying. Can I tell you about Katadaki? Yes. I can read about Katadaki, an Eckmaster, female Eckmaster, and I can tell you that Katadaki also is someone as an Eckmaster who goes to people who are going through very difficult things. So Katadaki will come to people who need a lot of comforting, like they might be going through some really hard traumas, okay? Katadaki is an Eckmaster in the ancient order of the Vairagi Adepts who is a woman. Although her true age is beyond belief, she appears to be in her mid-20s to early 30s. She's 5.5 feet tall. Her light brown, honey blonde hair often falls to her shoulders, but she changes hairstyles to fit her duties, as well as clothing. I used to know someone who would see her and she'd constantly change her wardrobe. Well, I mean, I guess that's like people, right? I mean, why do we have to think they're like walking around in robes all the time? Like all Eckmasters, she serves Sugmad God, love, by helping others to find the living Eckmaster, the Mahanta, who will then help them through their journey of eternity to make it a little easier. Her pet project is to help people get back on their feet during hardship. And this person that she came to, was going through some serious hardship. Yeah, so that's Katadaki. Any other questions or thoughts about anything? Anybody? Whew, I think we're at about 54 minutes on a live. That's crazy, you guys. I'm so happy that we could spend this time together and that you were like contributing, and thank you. It makes it so easy and inspired and fun to do this. So yeah, I'll keep doing more lives. And yeah, so if you want to recap, in the beginning, I did one quote from, again, Harold Klemp's Perpetual Calendar. And then I did a dream protection exercise from the Spiritual Exercises of Eck. Then the Law of Dharma, or Righteousness, from the Spiritual Laws of Life, Harold Klemp again. And finally, we landed in the Eckapedia in an incredible conversation. So we have one more thing. Good evening. Thank you. I'm so happy that this makes you happy to watch me sip my weird Americano with olive oil. Hello. Yeah, it makes me happy. Just wow, look, you can even see, oh, you can't see, but it's like literally olive oil. But you know, the Ayurvedic thing, I think it's Ayurvedic. People put olive oil in their mouth and swish, and it's supposed to just like clean like your toxins out of your teeth, your gums, your mouth. So you can swish. I think it's from India. Okay. I think it's an India thing. I'm constantly on the lookout for things to help remain healthy on this planet because it's so geared towards unhealthiness with all the chemicals in the food. So yeah, anyway, thank you for being here, and good evening to you as well, or morning wherever you are. And is there any other topic that anyone wants to talk about for a second, or we can call it a class? Yeah, we're at 56 minutes, you guys. Whoa, that's crazy. Oh, here, current living act master, Sri Doug Kunin. He is the current living act master. And you can look for pictures of him. He will come to you if you ask, okay? You can't just think you're going to ask one time and get an answer, though. Sometimes it takes time. You have to really be committed. Like when you work out in a gym, you don't just go one day and think, oh, I'm going to look like Thor, okay? He probably goes every day. He probably has his own gym. For me, I've been doing this for decades, and so I am seeing more results because I'm committed, okay? If you get committed and you do the spiritual exercises, you chant the hue, because that will raise your vibe so fast and that'll get you to a place where you can receive more too. If you do these things daily, okay? I chant the hue 20 minutes a day, sometimes 40 minutes, and this is what I'm talking about. Like if you do a little bit, even if you said 5 hues, like I did at the beginning of this, you're still going to see a shift. It'll be a little shift, but it's still a shift. So you guys, this is the only thing that matters. I'm just saying, honestly, like, yes, we live in a physical universe, but this is the stuff you take with you. Can't take the other stuff. You know, I can't even take the books. I got to remember all this stuff, you know. Character is what it's about. Yeah, character and love. So love yourself, because it starts there. You can't love anyone else if you don't love yourself first. Okay? So love yourself, be kind to yourself, and then the kindness will overflow because your cup will be full. It won't be empty, and there won't be a hole at the bottom. Ma'am, I teach you cooking Indian food. Indian food. Yoga is great too. I love you. I do yoga every night. Yes, Indian food is amazing. I love Indian food. Yeah, thank you. So you guys be well, and I will talk to you in another video. Lots of love.